Well, hi everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Tim, and if you're new to my channel or if you're returning, just look through my videos. I have a lot of different interests. My reason for having a channel is to share some of those interests. When I come up with something new or I figured something out, I like to put it on a little video just to help people out, because a lot of the stuff that I do, I found YouTube videos very helpful for me. So this is my reason for doing this. So if you like my videos and like what I'm doing, check them out. Check out if you're interested. This is going to be coffee related today, but I do a lot of smoking, meat processing. I've built some canoes. I do build musical instruments, cigar box guitars. Got some stuff on there about some taiko drum stuff. So check out my videos, like and subscribe, and we'll keep making these and sharing stuff that I figure out and find interesting. So today we're going to do a little video on White Espresso, white coffee. And we get our coffee from Gobena Coffee. They're a roaster out of Gridley, Illinois. My wife and I run a little coffee booth at a weekend farmer's market, and we use their espresso, fresh roasted espresso in our coffee booth. Great coffee, great company. Look them up. They have a great mission. 100% of their proceeds goes to help orphanages and orphans around the world. So good stuff. But today we're going to do white coffee. This isn't a drink mix like a flat white or something like this. This is actually the way the beans are roasted. So the beans are roasted at a lower temperature for a shorter amount of time, so they're very lightly roasted. And I'll just show you, looking at the portafilter here, what it looks like. They're it's a very, very light roast. Very, very different. In the process of roasting them, such a light roast like this, the coffee beans are very, very, very hard yet at this point. And so I would not recommend trying to roast coffee like this at home and then grind them in your grinder, because you will ruin your grinder. So the best way to get coffee like this is to actually get it from a roaster. They have their big industrial grinders, have them grind it for you. This stuff is very, very interesting. It does not say coffee at all. You open up the bag and you just give the bag a smell. It doesn't smell like coffee. You're not going to go, ooh, get that nice, rich coffee flavor that we all know and love. It's very different. It smells very, very nutty, almost very peanutty to me. And it looks, very different too. And it brews very different. Typically, when you're going to brew, like a double shot of espresso, you're going to, I would fill my portafilter, I'd level it off, I would tamp it down good, and I'm looking to get about 2.5 ounces in about 25 to 30 second draw. This is not going to do that. So if you get white coffee, don't expect it to draw like a regular espresso. It's not going to happen. It flows through really, really fast, and grinding it finer or whatever, tamping harder, is not going to really change that. It is what it is. It's going to flow through very fast. Now, a lot of people say that I've been reading about, they say, well, the first 2-ounce shot is too strong or too sour or whatever. So some people will actually throw out the first draw and then they'll draw a second one, and they like that one. Other people will drink the first one, 2 ounces. There's all kinds of ways that people do this. For me, what I've found is started out doing just the 2-ounce draw to see how it went, and you know what, that was good. There wasn't, acidic or sour or whatever. It came out really good. Interesting flavor. Granted, it was kind of very nutty, to me, it tastes peanutty. If you like peanuts, you'll like this coffee. But very, very different. So I did, okay, well, let's do the second draw to see how that changes things. You know what? It really, to me, tasted the same, just a little bit weaker. So I was like, okay, why are we doing this first draw, second draw, throwing out one? To me, that's just, I don't get that. So for me, what I tend to do is, because it's a milder flavor, if I'm going to use this like in a milk-based drink, I want my proportions of the coffee to milk to be, a larger proportion of the coffee. So what I would do, and find works well for me, is instead of doing a 2-ounce draw, I do a 4-ounce draw. So I'm essentially combining the first draw and the second draw all into one. And that works. It still is not a really super strong flavor. It isn't going to cut through milk if you're making a latte the same way as a regular espresso is going to, but it's there. The flavor is there if you want to make a milk-based drink. The other thing is, you'll notice, my ground is very, very low in the basket. So, normally I would fill it all the way to the top and then tamp it down and get maybe, 18 grams in there. The roaster that we work with, they recommend only doing like a 16 grams in and then 2 ounces out for a regular draw. And so that's what we do here. Some people don't tamp. I tamp because, hey, that's just the way I do it, and it works for me. But it's going to be, you'll see when I do the draw, it's a very, very different type of draw. So let's get that in there, and I'm going to bring it in close to show you what that looks like. Okay, here's where I'm going to do a sort of a short pre-infusion. So I'm going to start the machine. Once I see the first signs of any water coming through, I'm going to stop it and let it pre-infuse for 10 or 15 seconds and then start it up again. And 2 ounces is about here. We're going to run it, like I said, we're going to run all the way up to 4 ounces. So you'll see that it brews way, way different than you would think of for an espresso. Okay, now we're just going to let it sit for about 10 or 15 seconds. Okay, and run it. So there is a 4-ounce draw, and yeah, that was super fast. Very, very different, very interesting. Certainly doesn't have the, the thick, rich quality of a regular espresso, and the taste is that too. So it's very different coffee to start. So, okay, so here's the finished product. You can see it's very, very light in color. Doesn't look like coffee. Doesn't look like an espresso. Doesn't smell like coffee or espresso. It's just a very, very different drink. I would not compare it to coffee. If you're comparing it to coffee, you're going to be disappointed. You got to think of it as something entirely on its own. It very much, to me, has an aroma of peanuts. If you like peanuts, which I do, then you'll find this enjoyable. If you're going to use it in a milk-based drink, it does work in that. Just don't expect it to cut through the milk the same way an espresso, regular espresso does. It's not going to do that. It's going to be more in the background, but you can do it. People do. People like it. So for someone who likes peanuts, or someone who doesn't really like coffee, or you just want something different, give it a try. It's good. It's a drink in itself. Again, don't think of it as trying to compare it to a regular espresso or something. It's really that different. but I like it. I enjoy it straight up like this. And I can drink it just like that all day. It's good stuff. Again, Gobena Coffee. This is what we use in our coffee booth on every weekend. Their espresso flagship. We order it from them. They ship it out in a couple days, and it's been roasted, just a couple days before. It's good, excellent coffee. We wouldn't serve it, first of all, if it wasn't great coffee. So, but you add to it that their mission that they support orphans and orphanages around the world. Get on there, read their story. It's a great story, great people to work with, so easy to work with. They're really good at answering any questions I have, and again, shipping us the best product available. We also started serving their espresso blend decaf at our booth at the market. And I tell you what, it is like the best decaf I have ever had. It honestly, if you didn't know it was decaf, you would not think it was decaf. We love it. We have diehard coffee drinkers who are, for whatever reason, can't do the caffeine or don't want the caffeine right now, and they all love it. No complaints ever. Whether you're doing it as a mixed, a milk-based drink or even Americanos, both of these people just love. We've really gotten a good following of people who come back every Saturday because they love our coffee, and it's partly, yes, it's the way we make it and the ingredients and stuff that we use. We make all of our own syrups, but you got to start with good coffee to begin with. And these guys make great coffee, so check them out. If you're interested in the white coffee, you do have to request that directly to them. They don't list it on their website. But yeah, get a hold of them. I'll put some links below, and yeah, enjoy your coffee. Thanks for watching.